Why do I feel so alone? Navigating aloneness in your relationship. This is an important topic because so many people are in a relationship and yet they feel alone, even married and alone. So stay with us as we discuss this. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We have so much helpful information that can help you in your relationships, your life, and recovery and healing. So if you have a question, put it in the box and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So why do I feel so alone in a relationship and how to navigate this? Well, let's first talk about why you might feel alone. Okay. Now, feelings are not truth. Okay. They're not. You can feel alone and someone can really love you and want to be connected to you. And that could be on your side or their side or the dynamics in the relationship. So let's talk about your side first, their side second, and dynamics. On your side, how often are you initiating in the relationship? Now, what I mean by initiating is sharing your feelings. What's going on with you? How much are you opening the zipper to your heart and exposing it to the other person in your relationship? How often are you sharing deeper feelings? How often do you pray or connect or do things that are spiritual with each other? How are you at initiating physical touch and praise towards your spouse or towards your partner? And I want you to look at this because if you're staying pulled back, it might be that you're having challenges even receiving those things. So again, on your side, how are you at responding to praise? Do you say thank you? How are you at when they share their heart with you, being able to be present and not bringing it up against them? How well are you at receiving spiritual initiation? How well are you at receiving touch, non-sensual and sensual touch? How engaged are you during a sexual encounter? Do you speak? Do you look at each other? Do you talk? All of these are some things that you can look at and you can change and you can address with yourself. Now, there are situations where you are being shut out. It is not your fault. You're all in, you're trying, you're romantic, you're sensual, you're playful, you're engaged, you're spiritual, and yet you are really alone. Now, it could be that the person is suffering depression because of low hormones, low thyroid, chemical imbalance, or they have so much rage that they're suppressing it. That's a possibility. And if it is, I would ask for that to all be evaluated, the hormones or thyroid, and see if that's part of what's going on. They have so little energy to put into the relationship. That's a possibility. Okay. They might also struggle with what we call intimacy anorexia. And we have several videos on this, so I'll be brief. Intimacy anorexia is the active withholding of spiritual and emotional intimacy with your spouse. Everyone else thinks you're wonderful. But here's the symptoms real quickly. And if you are experiencing this, I want you to do more education on intimacy anorexia because you are married and alone if you are dealing with this. They're too busy for you. They blame you for the issues in the marriage. You will rarely hear, I'm sorry, or I'm wrong. They withhold love, especially the way you want to be loved, and you've communicated how you want to be loved. They withhold spiritually. They withhold sexually, either by not being sexual or not being present or connected during sex, making it an alone experience. They are unwilling or unable to share their feelings with you. They use anger or silence as a way to control you in the relationship. They have ongoing or ungrounded criticism, almost like a negative narrative about you in their head, especially if you're getting close to each other. They'll start using that against you. And it's not even true half the time, or even more than half the time. Sometimes they control around money, but generally you feel married and alone. I have a whole book called Married and Alone. If you are experiencing intimacy anorexia, get the intimacy anorexia book and the Married and Alone book, because it might totally change your life. Now, it's also possible that this other person has what we call schizoid personality disorder, and you can look that up as well. Schizoid personality disorder, though, is with everybody. This is the lone wolf. Nobody's getting their heart. The door is closed, okay? They have no desire for sex. They don't really desire intimacy. They don't have any closer type same gender relationships. They tend to not really have any kind of hobbies or anything. Their idea of a great life would be to live in a cabin and come into town once a week and pick up groceries. And they're totally fine with being alone. It's like they don't have a chip that wants them to connect to each other. There's also issues where they could be on the spectrum. And on that, I'm just going to let you do your own research, because if they are, there's not any intention for them to have you feel alone. There's some deficits that they can work some skills into and to try to ease that. But there's no intentionality, like with intimacy and anorexia, there's intentionality. So you have to kind of find the cause, if it's on the other person or on your side, or if it's the dynamic. The dynamic of being alone would be we don't have any disciplines that bring closeness to us. So let me give you a solution for that. You come home, you both sit in front of a TV, you go to bed, or you go to other rooms and you're reading books, or you're doing something, you're on your computer, you're on your cell phone. And really the amount of dialogue is so limited to functionship that the relationship dialogue is not being nurtured. So you want to have a relationship dialogue every night, okay? Instead of doing whatever you're doing by distracting yourself, by not being in a relationship, you intentionally say, let's spend 15, 20 minutes talking together. And and I have a book called The 10-Minute Marriage. There's lots of suggestions there, but let me give you a couple. You can share 2 feelings from your day. Today I felt this, today I felt that. But it cannot be about your spouse. It has to just be about your life, what happened with you today. Okay? You can share 2 praises with your spouse. I really appreciate or love or value this about you. They say thank you. And this lets them know that you see them. Okay? And you see the positive side of them. Also, you can pray together. Regardless of what your religious or faith beliefs are, you can reach out and touch each other's hand and say, God, we just want to thank you for each other. And just pray whatever's on your heart. I'm not talking about some kind of scripted thing. Okay, but connect in that way. That's a very healthy thing to do. And what will happen is that discipline of that 15, 20 minutes a day will start moving into your relationship. And you'll start feeling better and closer and connected. Now, if you don't have any disciplines that create intimacy, you can't expect closeness. Closeness is a result of a set of disciplines. Some people organically have them. Most of us in Western culture we're not trained in them. So look at the factors that are on your side. Look at the potential factors that are on their side. Look at the factors that are dynamically there, the lack of disciplines that are creating the issues. And I would say if you need help, either individually or as a couple, reach out. Call 719-278-3708. We have counselors who deal with this every single day and coaches who can maybe help you identify what's going on, give you some skills that can give you different results than you're having right now, and maybe some insights into you or them or each other that can expedite your process of being connected. If you're going to be in a relationship, you want to be connected, but that is a result. So you can look at the issues at hand, take your next step, and I hope that you do, because you don't want to be married and alone. You don't need to be, but you have to kind of find out where the issues are and solve them where they are. I'm Dr. Doug Weiss. I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hit the button. And if you have a question, put it in the box.